7-inch on-camera monitor with 2800 nits of brightness, a great kit, and everything for $278. Let's take a look. What's good guys, my name is Oleg Nikitin and you're watching No Limits On channel. So this is the Viltrox DC-A1, a 7-inch on-camera monitor with full HD resolution. It has an IPS panel at 60Hz and 1000:1 contrast ratio. So now let's take a look at what's inside of the box. First, you get a hardshell case. It's a pretty big case, but still your monitor will be well protected at all times. And inside of this carrying case, we have a lot of different accessories. First of all, you get the installation kit and the screen protector, which is a very nice touch. Then we have a metallic monitor mount, which can be tilted and rotated as well. And we have a special pin, so the monitor doesn't twist with this mount. We also get a 2200 mAh battery with USB Type-C charging capabilities, but to be honest guys, this battery is just a nice bonus because it won't work for a very long time with this tiny battery. You will also find a mini HDMI to full-size HDMI, as well as the full-size to full-size HDMI cables, and also a USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable. And what's even cooler is that the HDMI cables are capable of 8K resolution. Also, you'll find an easily detachable and foldable sunshade. It's made out of plastic and you can easily attach it and detach it, and it unfolds in one touch, so I wouldn't actually put this off of the monitor. And while in storage mode, it protects the screen itself, and when it's in work, combined with 2800 nits of brightness, you can work in even the brightest daylight. On the bottom of the monitor, you'll find an HDMI in and out, as well as the 1/4-inch thread, headphone jack, and also the USB Type-C and the DC in, and you can power this monitor with Type-C and DC in, as well as the NPF battery, so we have in total 3 ways of powering the monitor. On one side we get another 1/4-inch thread for accessories, and on the other side we have a special wheel, so you can use this monitor even in the gloves. And on top we get the back button, as well as 4 customizable function buttons, and you can assign a ton of functions to those. And behind the little door you get the USB Type-A port for updating the firmware and for the LUTs uploading. Of course guys, since it's a super bright monitor, you need to cool it down, so it does have a fan, and right now it is working in low setting, and I cannot even hear it because it's right next to my ear and I don't hear a thing. And you can turn it off completely as well, but now let's try to put it into the medium or to the auto, for example. So right now it is in auto mode, and it is about, I don't know, 50 centimeters from my microphone, so it's really close, and the microphone is directional, so it's almost directed towards the monitor because it's directed to my mouth obviously. So as you can hear, I still can hear this, but it's not an issue. Only with an on-camera monitor, if it was like here, I mean on-camera microphone, you would hear this, but other than that, you wouldn't. For example, if you have a lavalier microphone on your talent, it won't be an issue. And now let's put it to high mode. Let's imagine you'll have a shoot at 50 degrees Celsius somewhere. And right now, guys, you can hear the highest setting for the fan. Yes, it is pretty loud, and you won't use your on-camera shotgun microphone with this type of ventilation sounds, but if you use the lavalier microphone and your talent is about 1.5 meters away from the camera, it won't be an issue even in the quiet room. The weight of this monitor without the hood is 346 grams, and with the hood it's 444 grams. And compared to my Atomos Ninja 5 without the hood, and it's a 5-inch monitor, it weighs exactly the same. And one more pretty nice bonus is that the HDMI in and out ports support 4K 60, so you can actually provide 4K 60 signal to this monitor and loop through the 60p signal as well in 4K, and only if you plan on shooting in 4K 120 frames per second, you'll have to set up like 1080p output in your camera to be able to monitor your image. But other than that, you can just leave the 4K output signal at 4K and you'll be good to go. Most of the monitors don't have this, and they're like capping at 4K 30. So a nice touch. And here is the brightness comparison of the Viltrox versus sunny weather mode on my Sony FX30, and it is not even comparable. And now you see the Atomos Ninja 5, which has 1000 nits of brightness, and this is my current monitor. I use it all the time, and as you can tell guys, it is still a lot brighter than the Atomos Ninja 5. And here's the comparison of all 3 screens and the waveform, so you can better understand the difference between the 3, and the Viltrox is a lot brighter. Okay guys, in terms of the functions, if you swipe on the left side, you can change the volume in the headphones, and on the right side you can change the backlight. You can also pinch to zoom in into the image, like on your iPhone or Android smartphone, so it's very easy and intuitive to use. And in terms of the menu, you double tap the screen, and here you can see that we have the volume bar as well as 2 types of histograms. And what's cool is that you can rearrange the histogram. You simply drag it to another part of the screen, which is super nice. Here we have the vectorscope. It's not my favorite type of vectorscope, but still you can rearrange it. And we have also 3 types of RGB parades, and you can also drag and rearrange all 3 if you want them to. We also have the full waveform mode, so the image becomes a little bit smaller, but you have all the information and the scopes on the screen. We have also the support for 3D LUTs, and we have several LUTs pre-installed for different cameras, and you can upload your own ones as well. Here we have the traditional focus peaking, and you can also change the color of it, and you can dial in the sensitivity of the focus peaking. Here we have 2 types of false color. The first one is my favorite, the second one is not my favorite, but still we have 2, so it's a nice bonus. Classic zebra, pretty much straightforward. Then we have the full gray, red, green, and blue coverage. Then we have the flip in horizontal and vertical modes, which I really appreciate. And also this monitor supports auto flip, so it has an accelerometer and it understands in which direction it is actually turned. We do have the classic safety zones like 80%, 90%, and you can highly customize those. You can change the transparency, you can change the thickness of the lines, and you can enable different grids like the central grid and trisection as they call it, so basically the rule of thirds. And also here we have the different aspect ratios like 2.35 to 1, 185 to 1, etc. You can also change the input's aspect ratio like 4 to 3, 14 to 9, 16 by 10, but I prefer to leave it in auto. Then we have the super zoom capability, so you can zoom in at up to 10 times digitally, of course. And also we have a lot of different anamorphic desqueeze ratios, and the coolest part is that you have a customizable horizontal and vertical anamorphic squeeze. So if you have a pretty weird anamorphic lens with strange desqueeze ratio, you can dial in the exact amount. And then we have the adjustments of the monitor itself. We have the brightness, it's not backlight, it's the brightness itself. Then we have the contrast, and I prefer to leave everything at 50%. Then the saturation, the hue, if the monitor appears to be a bit greener or more towards magenta, you can dial in the exact color. We have the sharpness value, which is a bit crazy at higher percentages, and we have the backlight itself. In the main menu, we have the language change, also the fan speed adjustment, and it's really important so you can turn it off completely. Just make sure you don't have it running for too long because it might hurt the monitor itself. Then we have the OSD menu, so the transparency of the menu itself. And then we have the function keys, which are assignable. And here are the functions that you can assign for those customizable buttons. And in the system settings, you have the product manual with a QR code. Of course, you don't bring the instruction manual with you all the time, so it's a very nice bonus, and here you can update the firmware. In terms of physical buttons, I have assigned my function button 1 to be the full waveform. Then we have the false color mode 1 and mode 2 on the button 2, and then we have the LUT on-off on the third button, and then we have the fourth one, which is the locking screen. And as I said, guys, you can fully control this monitor with a knob on the left side. You can press it in to pick the function, and then you have the back button on the top. A very nice solution, because if you are wearing gloves and it's pretty cold outside, you can use this function, or if for some reason on the shoot you have some malfunction of the touchscreen, you'll be able to still work with this monitor with this little knob. And guys, I was able to shoot with this monitor on a very sunny day, and I'm really happy with the results. The combination of the sun hood and 2800 nits of brightness is just a killer. You get a very bright, very nice, very contrasty image. Also, the screen is really big and nice, and compared to 5-inch monitors, it's much less straining your eyes, to be honest. And it's much better compared to my Atomos Ninja 5 in terms of the brightness, because with my Atomos Ninja 5, I always have to kind of squish my eyes, what's the word in English, and I have to actually have some strain on my eyes with 1000 nits of brightness. I mean, it's fine, it's workable, but with this, it's like day and night difference. And the best part about this monitor, in my opinion, is the price. $278 for this good of a monitor and this great of a kit. Come on, guys, are you kidding me? It's like a steal, basically. So here's the competition. Not all of those monitors are even as bright as the Viltrox, and as you can tell, guys, the Viltrox is the cheapest one. Of course, guys, there are some super cheap options for like, I don't know, $150, but you all know that they are very weak and compared to this one. It's not even close. To conclude, guys, if you're okay with 7 inches and you're okay with slightly bigger size, but still the weight is more than manageable, because my Atomos Ninja 5 is exactly the same weight as this monitor with the sun hood, and you'll be more than happy with this option for this low price. So I can definitely highly recommend this Viltrox DC-A1 monitor for you as your first monitor, or as a bigger option if you have like 2 cameras and you want something bigger, brighter, and also more affordable. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask them down below, and if you did enjoy this video, smash the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notifications bell. And right here I have my full review of the Viltrox 5-inch monitor, which is also really good, and it's even cheaper than this one. See you in that video, guys. Take care. Bye.